that in. Yeah, sure. Fourth episode. Good day, one and all. Here we are in episode 4 with Man's Talk. Episode 5, really. Yeah, Man's Talk in the Barbershop. Today we have a good, nice topic. I hope everybody's tuned in, ready to want to hear some good insight from some guest speakers that are in the house. When we say these streets have a lot to tie in with so much that's going on in them. From a lot of accidents, a lot of people who we have seen lost their lives through accidents that have taken place in these streets, and also acts of violence that also have taken place in these streets. We would like to have a minute of silence in honor of all those who have lost their lives in these streets. And again, whether it's been by accident or by acts of violence. Okay, thank you very much. Today, these streets, do they show love or do they show hatred? Do they show peace or do they show war? It's up to us as individuals to very much be able to try to not see others take up certain lifestyles that we have seen have turned out and played out in our real world in ways that have had effects and impacts on families that are of dire consequences. There are a lot of people that are still, will always have grief, trauma, hatred, anger, due to acts of violence that have very much spilled out on our streets and taken so many lives. We have seen generations change through these streets. We have seen the acts of violence change through these streets. And we are here today to want to help shed light and also help change mindsets of our young males and young females that have gravitated to certain lifestyles that they may find intriguing, may find thinking it's interesting, fascinating. The end result of these lifestyles is not a future that is very much promising in the ways that they may think it is when they get involved. Many of us here, as you see us through the TNN on camera, have been down certain roads. We have been able to be blessed to come from certain lifestyles, make change in our lifestyles that can have us here today being able to share our journey, but also try to discourage others from taking up a journey that they may not be as fortunate as us. So we only ask that people can take insight, listen keenly to what everybody here has to say, and if rather you have a younger niece, sister, brother, nephew, cousin, whomever, try to help be there in their life to try to deter them from going down this path with the results that end up not good for families. So, I have Trevor Lindsay ready to come in and shed some light on today.
Today to Bermuda, we want to thank the landlord, Mr. Simmons, for allowing us to even, and the barbers, just to patronize that we can use this facility. I'm grateful and I'm thankful. Mr. Simmons is a Man United fan. He didn't want me to come in because of the jersey I'm got on. So we had a little bit of discrepancy. I told him that I would throw him under the bus. So he told me ease him up. some of the things that has been really disturbing happening in this island is the drink driving issues that we do not address. That's a problem. It's a major problem. We as people in this island, we've taken that song Bermudians like to drink like it's a joke. It's serious. And if we don't tackle the drink driving issues that we have, it's going to kill a lot more other people. We're talking about relationships. You know, I'm just throwing out stuff that we can talk about today. We're talking about relationships. Another thing that disturbs me is the degrading of the woman. We lay down and sleep and marry and have relationships with these women, and some of the words that are used, in my opinion, is not nice. So we can talk about that. I'm intending on having a discussion with women because women feel they're being left out. They've told us that they feel they're being left out. So we're going to look to have a discussion on women's talk through the eyes of the woman. And we're going to for them. And then before we end tonight, we're going to give a birthday shout out to a few people that celebrating this week. A few friends of ours. But the floor is open. I started off, just last week, and I want to offer condolence to the Filipino family, the Filipino community that lost that young lady, 48 years old, she's middle-aged. Yeah. But to see a woman go through that, to see anyone go through it is not nice. But to see a woman is even worse. I remember pack racing. And a guy can hit the road and roll out. We can handle the road better than a woman. And I'm seeing women why we were pack racing. Because their bodies are fragile. They can't take a lick like we can. So my heart goes out to that family. My heart goes out to the young construction worker that unfortunately died last week, Friday in St. George. Anytime we lose loved ones, is something devastating. So we're not forgetting those individuals that are hurting. And there's a lot of people in this island hurting right now. A lot of people. We see death all around us. Yeah. And that's something we can talk about. How do we deal with it? Does alcohol play a part? Does alcohol play a part of, we as men, how we deal with our emotions? I've been looking at some literature that Charles Richardson has been putting on Facebook, dealing with, sharing about some emotions. Yes. And we as men it's okay to hurt. It's okay to share your emotions. It's okay to go to your brother and say, yo, I need your ear. You know what I mean? This and this and this and that is happening. I need your ear. It's okay. So let's talk. Man talk in the barbershop is open.
Yeah, I agree with you as far as even we have to be more involved even in our young ones' lives. I heard recently I had a godson that hit me, and he had done a lot of time in prison, good long time he had done, but I never abandoned him while he was in prison. I always reached out to him, sent him cards every so often, just to show him that, hey, someone still loves him. When this man came out of prison, he had done like 13 years. Young guy, young man. When he was young and came out still young. But when he came out, he had called me up and he said, hey, go up, man. You may not be my biological dad, but, I look to you as my real dad because, you've been there for me throughout my whole journey. And brought tears to my eyes, man, because I was like, wow, not even realizing how much of an impact, by just taking a second and just writing something on a card and sending it to him. You know what I mean? Or getting word to another officer, letting them know that, hey, hang in there, keep strong. You know what I mean? And, we have to understand that we can make change by just these small little things we do sometimes in others' lives, man. You know what I mean? We get so caught up in our schedules of day-to-day working and all that we don't really know what our young children are dealing with, what they're going through. And just the fact you could take a second to just want to hear them out, you don't know how much that could probably also save someone else's life because of the anger that they're festering inside of them and the hatred. You know what I mean? So we definitely need to start having a little more loving hearts and taking out time to just want to hear people out, hear our young men and women out. You know, like Trevor just said, even with the lady who lost her life the other day, man, it's just so sad to just see people going about their everyday way of life. And you know, it don't have to be you all the time. It could just be at, you know, the mistake of the next person. You know, no one's looking to take a next person's life. Take your time. Think before you put your gas on the pedal or your hand on that throttle. Think of somebody else's life that you could be putting at risk. That we want to be reckless with, whether it's drunk driving or just feeling like we want the need for speed. We have my brothers Tay and Pudge. We could do all the talking, but that's not going to stop anything. Providing solutions, that's not even going to stop. How do we start applying it? And how do we start making change? How do we become of an impact on the community that we can see that what we're doing is helping to start change people's lives and make people stop and think before they act. You know, I know definitely even after this episode, even at the end of it, Trevor can very much, even for anybody who has got someone that they feel they need to have someone to talk to, we as men are all here for anybody who may feel they need that person to just get some insight from. You know, hit up Trevor on the side and ask Trevor if there's any individual in her that you would like a one-on-one talk with, whether it's your son, whether it's just even you want to get an understanding of how a man thinking, so you would learn how to deal with your own child better. We're here for all of that. You know, every single one of us, again, have been through certain things in our lives that, you know, we can help share some things, help lighten up to try to save some lives for people who have taken up certain lifestyles, or mothers who are clueless to their sons' lifestyles that they're starting to take a journey on, and you're sort of helpless of trying to understand what to do or how to go about making them change that lifestyle or change their friends. Feel free to touch base with Trevor, that he can very much get to any of you guys to help enlighten you all. We live in an island that a lot of us are also being very blind, not wanting to speak up on a lot of stuff. Some of us fear that if we speak up that, well, we're doing something wrong. There is no such thing as doing something wrong or wanting to speak up on something that is touching your heart or something that is touching your life. You know, there is so much that has been happening in the last 10, 15 years that I don't feel that we're really had an awakening to it yet. Really, because it's hurting to even see how we have our governments and people who are just not saying, you know what, let's start put some focus on some real situations that are happening. Because we can't go forward and just keep on thinking about a certain class of people while denying a next class of people. You know, we need to have more of our trade schools being opened up. We need more youth centers being opened up. I see up in Somersville, yeah, Sands Youth Center over by Birds Island. That's still needed some work done to it. Sands 360, work done to it. How is it that we don't have people who are looking to want to invest in these things that can help change and save lives? You know, it's these things that we need to start tapping into. You know, my only hope is that as we get closer to the end of this year, we can have more even open dialogue with community leaders and government leaders to start bridge that gap with them getting a better understanding of what's happening in communities, what's happening in parishes, so they can start provide more assistance to these parishes to help provide more assistance to our youth. You know, we need all that, man, because we're all hurting inside. As much as we may not take time to want to show that hurt, but we're all even also feeling it for others who are hurting. I had a friend yesterday, didn't even know. He saw me outside my job, spoke with him, said, pray for me, brother. I said, yeah, don't worry, man. I'll definitely keep you in Lord's prayer. Not even realizing what he is going through. An hour later, the mother to his children had passed away. Little did I know that this man was having that on his mind, and he asked me to pray for him. And when I heard it later, I was just like, mercy, sheesh. You know, we just don't know what people are going through and dealing with. And this is why it's always good to speak positive and say positive things to people, whether you know them or don't know them. Because you just don't know what a next person's going through. Even your smile. A smile can help to just change people's lives. Help to put a little healing on that hurt that they're going through and they're dealing with. I just think we got to definitely start come outside of ourselves so we can help bring about change for others. We also have a young gentleman right here that has been wanting to come and be a part of this platform on getting people to meet him in a different way from what they may know him through. And I appreciate the fact that this man has taken this time out and wanted to come and, share himself, his new self, this platform to people so they can get to know who he is with the new him that he has allowed himself to make change with. Alva Mabry, welcome to the Man's Talk in the Barbershop.
Yes, sir. You need me to take over to talk about myself? Or?
Brother, you could just some insight on wherever your heart feels. This is what
talk about yourself and bring yourself up to date to where you are.
A lot of people knew my past, I'm been through a lot throughout my life, lost my parents at a young age, so I've been through hell, went through juvenile facilities overseas and stuff, so it's been a long run for me, but I'm bounced back, things are getting good for me in life, I've got a good job and all that type of stuff, and I'm just all about elevation and helping other people. Like today, I reached out to one of my friends that, reached out to me on Facebook, and I was telling them, we guys was in the home together and all of that there, and we was in juvenile facilities and stuff too, and I told them, I want to see them better, and I told them I'm going to help them do better, you know what I'm saying? So I told them I'm going to check some people, see if I could get them a job, and I just want to see your boy elevate, stop drinking, stop smoking and all that. And I'm always been about trying to help people, whether it's family member or friends that's close to me. I've always been about that, you know what I'm saying? But, there's still a lot going on when it comes to these streets. Even though I'm in jail, I came out, you know what I'm saying? You still got a path, and it sometimes still follows you, So I'm just trying to deal with certain things, but, it is what it is. But I'm all about elevation, and I want to see guys do better. People that's in these streets, I think they should get out of it, because I think it's these states, it's not hard to get out of it and do better, you know what I'm saying? So it's all you gotta do is just do it, there's a lot of positive people out there in the community that people can talk to, I remember they used to send guys away if they fear for their life and all that type of stuff, send you England or wherever, but you gotta want it, you know what I'm saying? You gotta want it, and I honestly I don't rate guys, you're not a big homie. You're influencing people to just do bad all the time. Boys, you're doing good. They ain't doing good, and you're pushing them to do bad. That ain't big homie status to me, you know what I'm saying? You gotta want people to do better. I wanna see young guys to do better instead of being in pictures, putting up gang signs, gun fingers, all that crap, That's all I'm about, want to see guys do better and all that.
Tell us about how you spoke about the stigma following you. How do you get rid of that stigma?
To get rid of it, I don't know, you just gotta move right. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta move right. I just work and I'm in. I don't really go out like that there. Every now and then I might go somewhere, but I try to go places where it's not going to be no negative energy and good vibes, But yeah, that's what I do.
Talk about you spoke about you lost your parents, so there's some serious emotional stuff you had to deal with.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I lost my mama first when I was 14. So when I was in the boys' home, but I actually came back from this facility I was in Atlanta to come back and be here for, she was in the Gappy house. And I was actually one of the first young persons to be able to sleep there with her. You know what I'm saying? So they let me stay there with her. I was sleeping in the bed with her. And they gave me another bed, my own bed. I had my little video game hooked up and stuff. So I was there with her and stuff pretty much up till she passed. They moved over to the hospital to do surgery and stuff, but unfortunately, her body couldn't take all of that, and she passed. And then the Gap House had this thing called the Charles Wish, you know. So you know, a lot of young people that was lost parents there, they was a Charles Wish. They asked me what I wanted, so they paid for a ticket for me to go to New York and gave me spending money and all that. You know. So you know that helped a bit. Then I lost my daddy at 16. So, yeah, so I was in a facility in Pittsburgh, and I flew over, and he is in New Jersey. He passed New Jersey, so you know I flew over Jersey to give him lay him to rest out there and stuff. You know.
A lot of emotional turmoil you had to deal with. How did you find yourself through dealing with those emotions?
When I was younger, it was hard. I was quiet. Like I wouldn't have never been able to do this if you'd have called me at a younger age. You know, but now I can talk to anybody about things I've been through. You know, yeah.
There's a persona that's attached to you. I want to make with people.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
A lot of people have lots of negative things to say about me. I heard about it all they talk about. You know, I knew who I am with them, you know, and then the right people, as in my cipher, knew who I am, you know. I'm not going to act like I'm perfect, but I'm definitely trying to be the best I could be, you know.
You're working?
Yeah, you know, I work, you know, everybody knows where I work. I work at the hospital. Since I've been there, you know, even when I come to working at the hospital, you know, people was iffy about that, but I'm still there. You know, people thought I wasn't going to last, but you know,
3 years later, still there.
what gets me going is my downfall prayers, you know, that keeps me going right there, you know.
Yeah, I see you got a young one.
Yeah.
You got a young one.
Yeah.
That must bring you some joy.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
How do you find working at the hospital? Do you feel that also value in your life and the change, how you even keep evolving and changing?
Yeah, it definitely does. That's actually one of the longest jobs in my head is working at the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm on real, so I need a job. So that actually helps keep me team. You know what I'm saying? It helps me be better too. So it's like once I'm off, I'm already used to it. I know what I'm going to do now.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
How about the people in that work environment that you found with the new friends that you've been meeting?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it also helps bring a different feeling of love and appreciation and what you have found differently from, like, say, the streets and different things.
It's different. Like, it's cool. Like, you know, job, people, mates, you know. It's cool. I just go do my thing, like, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what was your change of heart?
When it comes to
What made you change your heart? Change and a negative thought process